name on object event. Inside this, we have written the for loop. Okay. And we want to update the type. So for this one, I want to write a test class. So generally, after writing the trigger like this, okay, no audio. Wait. What about others? Gautam, are you able to hear my voice? We are getting. Okay, voice clear. So it seems like an issue with you, Shivu. Issue with you only. Once check your audio. Hmm? Others are able to hear. Okay, fine. So generally, if you write a trigger like this, and if you want to execute this trigger, how you will execute? You will go to the Salesforce and then you will create a new position record and then you will check whether this field got updated or not. Yes or no? So we will do in that way, right? Similar thing we need to do it in the test class as well. So in the test class, I am creating a new position record. That's it. Okay. So at the rate is test, class name, this one method. Inside that, what I am doing? Generally, to execute this, what I will do, the same thing I will do here. Okay. So now let me do one thing. Click on run test. After this, what we need to do? We need to go to tests. In tests, tick mark, green color tick mark should come. Okay. If it is coming correctly means the test class passed. So the test class should pass first. Then we can think of the percentage. Okay, now let's go here and see the coverage. See, we got 100% coverage. Okay, take down this trigger and also this test class. Then we will see already told. Okay, very good. So, trigger example, writing a test class for trigger also, you are clear now. Let's move on to the another thing. One second. Okay. One trigger I want to show you that is see always what we have done, we have written the trigger logic inside the trigger. But if you want to write the logic in an Apex class and use the trigger only for calling that apex class. So usually in real-time environment, this is how we do, because on a single object, it could be account, it could be position, on anything, it could on single object, we have many, what are these events? Okay, and for specific event, we want to work on a specific logic. And if this logic is 100 lines, and if this logic is 500 lines, so total, the trigger will be very complex to understand. So that's why this way of doing is known as modular approach, wherein we will not write the entire business logic inside the trigger, but we will write only the method name here inside the trigger. Okay, and we will write the actual logic in a separate apex class. So this is how you need to do in your real-time scenarios for every trigger. Let me explain this in detail. First of all, what I need to do is I will create an apex class. My apex class name is account trigger handler, and it has two methods: update user one method, after update user another method. Okay, and for this method I am passing list of accounts as parameter. Okay, here let's go to the trigger name on account, before insert, after insert, all the events you will write it here. If trigger dot is before and trigger dot is insert, in that case I want to execute these two lines. What are these two lines? Class name, object name equal to new class name, object name dot method name, inside bracket we are passing the parameter. The parameter is trigger dot new. What is trigger dot new? I am writing the trigger on account. So trigger dot new is nothing but list of account records. So it is expecting list of account records, and I am sending list of account records. So in this way we will write it. This one you have not noted down in your notes, right? This one. Okay. So you note down this one and execute it. Then you will get some clarity. First, this is the account to trigger. Write down this one. And then this one is the class. Okay. Whenever you are saving, if you try to save the trigger without creating this class, you will get error, because the meaning of this one, will be available only after this class is present. Okay, fine. So first what you will do is, first you just write a trigger name on account. That's it. Okay. If trigger is before is insert, inside that you will not write anything. These two lines you will keep blank. You will not write anything. Just save the trigger. Then you go and create this apex class completely. After that, you save this apex class, then come here, then write the name of the apex class, object name, class name, object name is equal to new class name, object name dot method name. See here, object name, everything is same. Okay, you can give a different method, right? So object name dot a different method here. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So note down this one first, then we will go to the other one. I will try to zoom in. Is it fine? Yeah. Note down this one. just check this checkbox. Once if you check the checkbox, what happens? Automatically all the communication address details will be copied into the permanent address details. Similarly here, all the billing address details I want to copy into the shipping address details. Okay. So, so that one I am doing before insert, and this one after insert, what I am doing, I am creating a contact. Okay. Is this clear? The one who asked this doubt. Okay. Shivu, is it clear now? We have done similar thing, I think, in the trigger classes, but now this one is slightly different because here we are uh, actually not writing the code directly inside the trigger. Instead, we are writing the code in an Apex class and we are calling that Apex class from the trigger. Okay. Once you are done with noting down, please confirm me so that we can move ahead. Okay. Yeah. I will show you the output. First, note down. Everyone completed noting down so that I can move to a different screen. Please confirm me once you have completed noting down so that I will show you the output. Done, everyone? Okay. Now, this is nothing but a trigger. But instead of writing the code inside the trigger, I am writing the code inside an Apex class and calling it from trigger, right? So how you will verify a trigger generally? Tell me. How you will verify a trigger? Tell me how you will verify a trigger generally. We'll go to Apex triggers, and then currently we are working on which trigger? What is the name of the trigger currently we are working on? Okay, let me go to the, okay, here it is there, developer password. Okay, fine. So currently we are working on the account trigger, right? So this account trigger, whether it is active or not, we'll check. Okay, account trigger, it is in the active status. Okay, fine. So now let's go to account, create a new account. Whenever you are creating a new account, by providing only the billing details, the shipping details will be automatically filled. Okay. Sample 123, this is the account I am giving. And here, billing street, Hyderabad, city, postal code 500081. Yeah, okay. Just I have given here in the billing. In shipping, I have not given. Let me just quickly save this. Okay. Automatically, the billing address details are copied into the shipping address details. I have not done anything on the shipping. This is because of our before trigger. Okay. And because of our after trigger, okay, I created an account and automatically a contact got created. Okay. So this is how our trigger is working. Is it clear now? Okay. Is it clear now? In the execution part? In the execution part, is it clear? Okay. So now let's do one thing. Now let's go to the developer console Here we have seen the trigger and the trigger code inside the handler. Now we will see one more thing. We will see that how to write a test class for this one. So our actual logic is inside the class only, right? So I will write a test class like this for that one. Okay. You can give whatever you want. But one important thing, through test class, if you are performing any DML operation like insert, update, delete, it will not impact the database. So even if you run this test class, this one will not be really created in the database. Only for testing purpose it will be done. So if you open the records, you cannot see the records. Okay. This records which you have created through test class. Manually, if you have done those things, you can see. Okay. But through test class, if you have made any changes, okay. This one, even if I execute this will not be really created in the system. Okay, that point you need to understand. Not only this test class, any test class. Using any test class, if you are performing any DML operation, that will not be impacting our database. This is only for testing purpose. Okay. And also one more doubt I thought you will ask, but you have never asked me. Sir, if I have written a class, in that class, their system is considering there are some lines, and for those lines, I need to write test class and cover those lines. But for test class, inside test class also, there are some lines of code, right? Or not? Anybody got this doubt? Because this is a class which is having some code, I am covering that code using a test class. But inside test class also I'm writing some code. Do I need to write one more test class to cover this one? Is it needed or not? Anybody got this doubt? Please tell me, anybody got this doubt? First you tell me whether you understood my doubt or not. Whether you understood my doubt? Whether you understood my doubt or not? I am writing a test class to verify the code which I have written in my class. Okay. But inside a test class also there is some code, right? Do I need to write one more test class to cover this code? Is it needed or not? Anybody got this doubt? Just tell me whether you got this doubt or not. Answer I will tell. Answer anyway I will tell. Just tell me whether you got this doubt or not, because we are working on the test classes from the past few days, right? The answer to this is only the Apex class code need to be covered through test classes. This test class, how can you recognize that this is a test class? It is starting with @ test. If it is a test class, its code, no need to cover that code. No need to cover that code with another test class. Okay. No need to cover that code through another test class. Okay. class, we need to write a test class to cover that code or to test that code. But for the test class that you have written, you no need to write another test class to cover this code. So this is specified by Salesforce. You no need to worry at all. Okay, so now let me run this test and see what is happening here. Okay, let me click on run test. See, now this run test, it took some time and then it got executed. Okay, now let's go to the handler and see the coverage. See, from different coverage came up, but I have written this. This is covering my entire test class. Okay, this class. So these are the lines that system considered, and all those lines I covered. Let me go to the trigger and see here the coverage. Because of this, because of all these different things, I was able to cover my test class. Okay. I have written only once. That is covering both my trigger and also Apex class. Okay. Now take down this test class and execute this in your system. Then you will get clarity. Completed? Now try to execute this in your system. Then you will get clarity. Shall we move to the next topic then? Okay. Now, see this one. This is a batch apex that I have written to search a specific value and replace that value with a different value. So for what I am searching, this is a bit complex. Let's go with a simple one. Let's go with a simple one. This is a bit complex for you. Let's take this one. This is a very easy one. Okay. So this is a very easy batch apex. Let's see. Global class name implements database.batchable, database.query locator start, database.batchable context BC, return database.getQuery locator. Inside this, I am writing select lead source, comma, rating from lead object. Okay. In my previous example, I have, first of all, I have given the query separately into a variable, and that variable I passed for this as parameter. Here, directly inside here itself, I have given the query. That is the only difference. If you compare the example that we have done before. And in the execute for lead L scope, L dot lead source, L dot rating. So these two values I am putting web and warm. So it means for every lead record, I want to update the value to these two values, lead source and rating. I want to update, and I want to update the scope. This is nothing but the list of lead records. Okay. And in the finish, I don't want to write anything. So this is what my batch apex is trying to do. What my batch apex is trying to do, query all the lead records that are present in the system, and on the lead record, there are two fields, lead source and rating. For those two fields, I want to give these two values. Okay. Sorry, if the lead source I'm verifying, if it is web, then the rating I want to put as warm. This is if condition and this is the value. Okay. This is if condition, this is the value. Fine. Only one value I'm modifying, that is rating. Fine. This is my batch apex. Now, if I want to write a test class for this batch apex, how I need to write? At the rate is test, private class name. This one, static. See, this is another way of writing a test class. Static test method void test me, or you can write this in this way as well. You follow this approach only, at the rate is test approach only, because this is easy to remember. That is again you need to remember that. Okay, control C. Okay, it got saved. Okay, fine. At the rate is test class, at the rate is test method. Inside the method, what I am trying to do, I am creating a lead record and inserting that lead record. And here, test dot start test. Why I am using this one? Because if you are writing inside a batch apex, our limits will increase, right? Our limits will increase. But if you are writing in a normal class, the limits will be normal. But here what I am trying to do, I am trying to execute this batch apex. So whenever you think that you are going to work on huge number of records, or if it takes multiple transactions and the number of iterations, number of DML operations, number of SQL queries may hit the governor limits. In that case, what you will do, you will include that one inside the test.start test and test.stop test. In between these two lines, you include this batch. Then what happens? The limits will get enhanced. Okay. After this, what I am trying to do, I am writing leads is equal to select rating from lead where id l dot id. So this one I am getting, and system dot set equals. This one we use to verify whether the value what I am getting and the value is warm or not. This is not necessary, but if you want, you can write. This is for verification purpose. Here, what I am trying to do, I am modifying the value of rating on all the leads to warm. Whether this is happening or not, system.asset equals is used to verify that. Okay, here what we learned something new, that is test.startTest and test.stopTest. This is what you need to write whenever you are dealing with huge number of records or asynchronous. Anything asynchronous, then do it inside the test.startTest and test.stopTest. Remaining everything is same. Okay. Okay. So now first note down this one and then note down this one. With this, we are done. Okay. First of all, let me run this test. This got executed. Now go to this and see the percentage. Okay. Test me. This is my method. Okay. Test me is my method. Okay. So I'm getting 100%. Fine. So with this, we are done with the Apex, and from tomorrow onwards, we will focus on Visualforce page. Okay. And from Visualforce page, how to call Apex. Okay. Apex variables, how can you use it in Visualforce page? Visualforce variables, how can you use it in Apex class? We will discuss Apex. First, we will learn the basics of Visualforce page, and then later we will work on Apex along with Visualforce. Okay, that's what we are going to do. Once that is also done, then we will discuss. Lightning, and then we will discuss LWC. After that, we will discuss LWC. Okay. Okay. First, note down this batch Apex, and then take down this test class. First, note down the batch Apex, then you can note down the test class.